Good afternoon, everyone. Start with a few comments. Earlier today, the Secretary of State announced the designation of the Houthis as a specially designated global terrorist, effective February 16th for threatening the security of the United States. Since November, the Houthis have launched numerous missiles and drones towards international merchant ships, as well as U.S. and partner naval vessels defending the safety and security of commercial shipping across the Red Sea. These attacks against international shipping have endangered mariners and disrupted the free flow of commerce and freedom of navigation. For the past several weeks, the United States, with allies and partners around the world, has made clear that there must be consequences for those attacks. And today's designation follows on our military action last week to hold the Houthis accountable for their actions.
Travel into the United States.
The United States is the world's leading donor of humanitarian assistance to Yemen. We recognize the grave humanitarian situation there, which is why we are taking these steps to minimize harm to the civilian population. At the same time, we will continue to make clear to the Houthis that their attacks against commercial vessels must stop, and we will remain prepared to take additional actions if necessary.
I hesitate to use the word admission.
The Houthis
cement their position.
The Houthis were procuring military equipment long before that designation, and they continue to procure it in the year since. What's changed is we have seen them launching attacks on commercial shipping in the Red Sea, something that wasn't the case in 2021.
In different countries, Pakistan, Iraq, for example, is it still the assessment that the conflict?
So we have seen kinetic activity since October 7th, in addition, of course, to the Israel's military campaign in Gaza. What we have not seen yet, and what we have very much worked to deter, and what was a primary objective of the Secretary's trip last week, was to prevent the region from tipping into a full-blown conflagration. And so far, that effort has been successful, but it is something that we continue to work on all the time.
Do you condemn those strikes? Do you think Iran has the right to defend itself as the U.S. would?
We do want to see an end to this conflict. We want to see it as soon as possible, but we want to see an end to this conflict that's durable, and not an end to this conflict that leaves Hamas in place to, again, launch terrorist attacks against Israel. That's not something that's tolerable to Israel. It's not something that would be tolerable to any country. So we want to see an end to this conflict that ensures that October 7th can never be repeated.
Be helpful. You talked about people in the north of Gaza. We're not talking about people returning.
What was the issue with the Secretary's plane?
There's a mechanical issue. I don't know the nature of the mechanical issue, but he is in Zurich. He was scheduled to fly back from Zurich. There's a mechanical issue with his plane. The Air Force has a replacement plane inbound. We expect him to be back still tonight, but several hours later than originally planned.
Deal of the hostages and so on, and not a single mention of 100,000 Palestinians dead, missing.
Yes. Thank you, everyone.